Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a review and demo of the new Cover of X Power PLAYT foundation. I did not buy it. I have a tester. Even though Sephora has an amazing return policy, they also have an amazing sample program where I find that this is an ample amount for me to try for a few days. If I was really shady, I would just get another sample from another location, which I did. If it's there, it's there, you know what I mean? We'll go over specs, we'll have a demo, we'll have a review. If you want to see how I feel about the Power PLAYT foundation, how it looks and all that good stuff, then please keep on watching. I've been wearing it for the last 2 weeks by itself, with other foundations, with different concealers, with different powders, to get a handle of how I feel about it, to report back with accurate information in terms of what I think it does for my skin. Even though it's April here in NYC, I do still consider myself normal. And one of the Sephora associates did warn me that this foundation, which is designed for oily skin, is matte. And she was like, make sure your skin is prepped well, or else I'm sure it will, for the dry types, accentuate texture, dry patches. Maybe if you have dry skin, this product, this foundation will not be for you. Quickly go over the specs. It is meant to be full coverage, which it is. It is for combination and or oily skin. The finish is matte, as I said. It's a modern matte blurring foundation with weightless full coverage that provides sweat-proof all-day wear, long-lasting shine control, environmental protection, and a finish that will not oxidize. I will have to say that is my one pro. This foundation line is 40 shades long. Not only does it have 40 shades, but it also has 3 different undertone categories, those being cool, neutral, and golden. This foundation does cost $44 for 1.18 ounces, so slightly over 1 fluid ounce. It is like a squeeze bottle. It has a spout at the end, which I think lends for an easy experience in terms of dispensing. I have a demo here that I recorded last week of me applying foundation to a fresh skin. One side I applied with my beauty sponge and the other side I applied with my Goss foundation brush. I made sure my skin was prepped very well with my SPF lotion. It had a nice bouncy texture before I applied foundation, so it was good to go. From applying with a beauty sponge, I found that it took away a lot of the coverage, and that was expected since it is a sponge. I much rather apply this foundation with my Goss brush because it just left my skin with more product, it applied more coverage, and just had a better finish. From my experience, the few times I did apply with the beauty sponge, I thought it applied a little patchy on my skin, a little uneven in terms of the coverage. Some areas had more than others, and it was not as smooth and even as when I apply it with my foundation brush. It dries down pretty quickly, and I found that when I dot it around my face, I have to make sure that I blend it quickly, that it doesn't dry down weird, thus lending to a very uneven finish. I have to say the one big pro about this foundation is my shade match. I mean, matches me to the T. I am golden 60, G60. There's even a G plus 60 or G60 plus if you're looking for like a warmer undertone in the golden category. I liked how it applied. I liked how it laid under my concealer and powder and the overall finished look. This is me back after a few hours. Here's some close-up shots of how the foundation held up, and I was very impressed with how my bronzer and blush and highlighter held up on my skin and on my cheeks. It still looked fairly smooth, didn't look patchy. My color stayed true throughout the day. It still looks saturated. It didn't fade. So I have to say with this foundation, it helps keep the makeup on your face. Unfortunately, my blemishes still peeked through by the end of the 6-7 hours that I wore this for. I could have applied more to amp up the coverage on those areas. Maybe that's what I have to do next time. For the most part though, it is super matte. The Sephora associate was right. I'm sorry I don't have her name, forgive me. If you don't have oily skin, this is not gonna be for you. And as far as I'm concerned with trying it out, I'm not buying it simply because I don't need that much staying power. For $44, I would only use a tiny bit with my Hourglass foundation. While I was using it during my trial, I was combining it with my Hourglass. I would put on some stick foundation, just dotted very little with the Cover FX, and the Hourglass lended a little more finesse, a little more smoothness, so it looked more like skin and not like so matte. This is the shade, and this is what it looks like. Just so you see, this is the Warm Honey from Hourglass, and this is Honey. Basically, Warm Honey and Honey give me Golden 60 from Cover FX, but you just see Cover FX is a closer shade match than the Honey and Warm Honey. But I'm able to get away with using these because with the concealer and everything else that's applied, it evens out to me more of my skin tone. They're definitely, I mean, they're in the same family, but I love how they combine. I think they're beautiful together. If I received this foundation for free, I would totally use it and integrate it into my routine. I don't though, and I don't think it's necessary for me to drop $44 just for that staying power. I have my Maybelline Superstay, which is in the same category as Longwear, all day, sweat proof, everything proof. If I wanted that extra staying power, I could just dot a little bit of that with the Hourglass to help make it, again, last longer. If I wanted to make it look a little more matte. The Hourglass, as you saw in my best of 2017 makeup video, is by far my favorite foundation. I've purchased this a second time, and I purchased the Warm Honey when they released the new shades. I find that I rather have my foundation look like skin, and if I wanted it to stay on all day, I will just make sure to powder well, or I will set it with a powder foundation that will lend that extra coverage as well as provide a little more staying power. The Power Play is a great formula, again, if you have combination oily skin. I don't think it's optimal for normal to dry. If you want that staying power and you do have normal to dry, prep your skin very well. You might actually have to apply this foundation with a little bit of oil, just like a drop of it. So again, it'll smooth it out. It'll just help melt the formula into your skin a lot better, as opposed to you just applying the foundation on its own with that assist. I'm not gonna buy the Power Play because I don't need it. Again, I don't need that long-lasting power. If I didn't have foundation and I was super oily at the time, right now, and I wanted that stay on, sweat proof, life proof, all day wear, then yes, I would totally invest in the Cover FX foundation. Cover FX makes phenomenal products. All their foundation lines have 40 shades plus, from their mineral foundation, from their cream foundation, from their powder foundation, and they have like liquid foundations in different textures. They have a creamier texture, a more liquid texture. They have pigment drops that you could combine with your favorite moisturizer or another foundation to kind of change the shade or what have you, make it warmer, make it cooler, whatever. They have their primers that range from environmental protection, mattifying, hydrating. They are for sure a leading makeup brand in the complexion category in terms of all these products that cater to different skin conditions, and the shade range, of course, again, is incredible. If you want to try the Power Play still, definitely snag a sample first. Try it out, use it with your beauty sponge, use it with your brush, with different foundations, and really get an experience of, do you need this? Does it really make a huge difference in your makeup routine? If you live in a humid climate and you love to wear makeup, maybe you would consider this. If you are a performer and you're on stage and you need your makeup to stay on, you would consider this foundation. Right now, that's not happening in my life. If I do need a foundation that's gonna provide those benefits to hold my face on lockdown during those circumstances, then yes, I would get the Power Play. Right now though, I don't need it. I'm glad that I got the sample so I could experience it. I know what it does, what benefits it has for me, for my lifestyle, for my skin. So when I do run into those circumstances, those situations that I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna need that Power Play, I already know my shade, I'm gonna get it. If I do get tanner in the summertime, I will just do a shade match in store and grab it. But the sample is really to see how it wears on your skin, how it lasts throughout the day, and all that stuff. Let me know, friends, if you have the Power Play foundation down below. Any other foundation recommendations are welcomed as well. I do have a sample of the Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation and concealer. They do provide a 10-day supply. I don't have it with me now. It's in my other bag. It's a nice ample amount of foundation that you can try for 10 days. I have the shade 8 and 5.75 because I'm wearing the 5.75. I think that's what it is. I'll put the shade here up next to me. Under my eyes, and I really love, even though it's lighter, it's a golden tone. It's very, very high coverage and it dries matte. If you have dry under eyes, I'm not sure if that's the best for you. I'm gonna come on here and film my thoughts on the Beyond Perfecting. I want to use it more. I didn't apply it today, of course, because I had the cover FX on for the sake of this video. Maybe tomorrow I'll try Beyond Perfecting, experience it, see how it goes, and come back on here and talk about it. Thank you, friends, so much for watching, and I hope this video helped. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, chit chat, demo, or get ready with me. Take care, and I'll see you all soon.